hospital. And I called down to see if she, because they had said that she was coming back. And I couldn't get any information about whether she was back or not. Is this because of HIPAA or what?
That's unusual, isn't it?
No, it can be, or sometimes, I'm sorry to say, the hospitals don't necessarily tell you until the last minute, oh, by the way, the patient's ready to return, which is a situation I run into very frequently. They'll say, the patient's ready to come back today. They don't realize that part of what I have to do as a case manager is the hospitals that I cover, I go down to Erie into Pennsylvania. I go to St. Vincent's and Health South and Hammett and Select Specialty, Mill Creek, and sometimes the VA hospital. And I must rescreen the patient to make sure that they are still appropriate to come to our facility. It's not necessarily a given that they're going to return if they are just there for rehab. Also, if they come in, if they have to be sent out to a hospital, the insurance does not pay for their beds to stay empty. The only way that they're going to be assured a bed upon returning is if they private pay for it. The only people who have beds that are waiting for them are long-term care patients. Those with Medicaid, Medicaid does pay to hold the bed for those particular folks. Otherwise, if the bed is available and there's somebody else that's ready right now today to come into it, then frequently that's what will occur.
And then the hospital's stuck with them.
Well, not necessarily so. I mean, there are different facilities around. Frequently, if we get full in Westfield, sometimes we'll have the patients go up to the Absolute at Dunkirk.
Oh, you have, that's right, you have a lot of facilities.
Yes, we do.
Somebody's breathing hard into that microphone somewhere.
Probably me.
That's a breather. We've got to, you know, when somebody does that late at night when I lift up the phone, I'm very frightened.
Well, I just sighed, actually.
Okay, well, caller, does that answer your question?
More or less, except I
Yeah, I agree with you. If you call a nursing center and say, look, my friend Janie was there, and they took her to the hospital, is she back? Yes, no. They should be able to answer that.
Well, apparently...
Not if they're coming back, but are they there?
Well, they should be able to tell you if they're there or not.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
So next time, tell them, you tell me whether she's here or not, or I'm going to send the police over.
Please don't do that.
I'm going to call O'Brien and Schmolzowitz.
I don't think it goes quite that far, but I also would like to mention in passing that being as it's this time of the year, the springtime and so forth, there's going to be a wonderful, and it's going to be changed this year, dance recital by the dance company here in Westfield with Mr. and Mrs. Bishop. And the girls have worked and worked and worked, and it's going to be, I think it's like the 18th of June, and it's really going to be spectacular this year.
Okay, there's a plug. All right, thank you, caller. Any other plugs, or are we finished here?
Well, no, it's just that I appreciate, well, I have a granddaughter that dances.
Doesn't Danielle do some of that?
Yes, she
Yeah, I
does.
think her daughter, who's just on the air, also dances with that crowd over there, right?
Yes, she
What are they
does.
called? There's a name for it. It's not the Rockettes, but she used to be a Rockette.
She was a Rockette, yes,
Yeah,
she was. It's the center stage.
Center stage.
Center stage, right.
There you go. Okay,
But
caller.
there's also one in a dance studio in Mayville now that I was not aware of.
Oh, how about that?
And I think there's one in Dunkirk, too. But
Well, everywhere they're
of
dancing.
course, I think ours is special because of our instructor. But anyways, and just enjoy, people, because it's the weather.
Thank you very much,
couldn't
caller.
ask for anything better.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It brings up rehab, and you talk about rehab.
Yes.
And it's important that somebody who is getting better go through rehab, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's extremely important. Most of us don't plan on getting pneumonia, having a heart attack, having a stroke, falling down, breaking a hip. But if that is if that has occurred, then it doesn't make sense to try and rush things and go home. What does make sense is to do things properly. You really don't realize how debilitating, especially pneumonia, can be. You can be weak for up to 6 weeks after being over pneumonia. And that's why we're there. We're there to help. So many people still are so afraid of, oh, if I go to the nursing home, they're not going to let me leave. That's not the case. We're not a prison. We are, we are the option, and the option that we hope that you make. We're there to help you get better, so when you do go home, that you go home safely and that you're not in danger of falling down or having something happen to you, and you're there alone. And sometimes people that know that they're going to go in for a hip replacement or a knee replacement, the first time they hear anything about rehab is when they're in the hospital with the social worker or the case manager there saying, so were you planning on doing that, or are you going to go home? They don't even think about it, and it's a very important thing to consider. For the most part, if you know what your insurance is, and that's why it's so important to know before you have any procedure done what they're going to pay for and how much and for how long. Is there a copay? Nowadays, insurances, I'm sorry to say, the price of them go up and what we get out of them is going down. A lot of insurance companies
We're out of here.
oh, okay. I've started charging copays, which they hadn't done in the past.
Okay, there you go. Leslie Flexer doing the job, talking about nursing homes. I'll give you 30 seconds uninterrupted. Time is up. Go ahead.
Thanks. The best thing to do is to be prepared. It is so important to know the availability of what we have in our community. We're very lucky here in Chautauqua County. We have a fair amount of skilled nursing facilities. There's usually one that's pretty close to where you are. Visit them. We have people dropping in all the time doing tours. It's nice if you call ahead, but even if you don't, if it's on a whim, stop on
Drop
in.
around.
There's always somebody there that is willing to show you the place.
Thank you, Leslie Flexer. Leslie, if they wanted to get in touch with you on a follow-up, and many people do, give them a number at your work where you can be reached.
326-4646, and just ask for Leslie, as I'm the only Leslie in the entire facility.
Well, the only Leslie in Westfield.
No, I don't think so,
Oh, yeah.
but
Okay, there you go. 326-4646 if you're interested in following up with Leslie. She will give you very good care and concern if you have any questions. I want to thank all the people that called in. I'm sorry for the last caller. We didn't get you, but we'll get you next time. Leslie comes on every year, and usually brings Danielle, of course, and she usually brings her old father along, you know. May all you out there have a great week. Spend a lot of time in the sun. It's going to be a sunny, beautiful day. Do a little gardening. Put your hands in the soil. Become part of the universe. And may all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. I'm Reed Powers.